Welcome. Wherever you are right now, whatever you've built today, worried about today, dreamed about today, it can wait. This hour belongs to rest, to you, to the quiet space between the doing and the dreaming. Find a comfortable position. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears. Feel the surface beneath you, supporting you completely, asking nothing in return. You've spent so much of your day holding things up: projects, people, plans, possibilities. Right now, let yourself be held instead. Take a slow breath in and let it go. Not a productive breath, not an optimized breath, just a breath. Here's something worth knowing. This rest you're taking isn't time stolen from your business. Research consistently shows that well-rested entrepreneurs make better decisions, generate more creative ideas, and build stronger relationships with customers and partners. Sleep is when your brain consolidates everything you learned today, when it moves short-term memories into long-term storage, when it finds connections between ideas you didn't consciously link. So consider this your brain's night shift, quietly working on everything while you simply rest. Did you know that after just 24 hours without sleep, your cognitive impairment is equivalent to having a blood alcohol level of 0.1%? That's legally drunk in most countries. After just 17 hours without sleep, which many entrepreneurs do regularly, your reaction time and judgment are already significantly impaired. But here's the encouraging news. These effects reverse remarkably quickly with proper rest. One good night of sleep can restore your decision-making ability, your emotional regulation, and your creative capacity almost entirely. You're doing something powerful right now, simply by resting. Researchers at Harvard found that people who sleep well are 33% more likely to generate creative solutions to problems than those who are sleep-deprived. And a study from the University of California showed that REM sleep, the dream stage, increases your ability to integrate unassociated information by nearly 40%. In other words, the dreams you'll have tonight might literally help you solve business problems. Let your breathing slow now. In through your nose, feeling your chest gently rise, and out through your mouth, feeling everything soften. Each exhale releases a little more tension, a little more of the day's weight. As you drift towards sleep, let me share some insights that might serve you well tomorrow. Stanford researchers discovered that walking increases creative output by an average of 60%. Not running, not intense exercise, just walking, preferably without a destination. Steve Jobs was famous for his walking meetings. So was Aristotle, who taught while walking with his students. Mark Zuckerberg holds walking meetings. So did Beethoven, Dickens, and Darwin. Tomorrow, if you're stuck on a problem, consider stepping outside. Your legs might do what your desk couldn't. Here's another finding that might surprise you. Moderate background noise, about 70 decibels, roughly the level of a busy coffee shop, has been shown to enhance creative thinking more than silence. Complete silence, it turns out, keeps you too focused on analytical thinking. A gentle hum of activity nudges your brain toward broader, more associative patterns. If you work from home, you might try a coffee shop tomorrow. Or simply play ambient cafe sounds while you work on creative tasks. And then there's what researchers call the shower effect. Being in warm water while doing a mindless automatic task frees your brain's executive function for wandering, divergent thought. This is why so many people have their best ideas in the shower. It's not coincidence, it's neuroscience. Tomorrow morning, you might linger a little longer under the water. Let your mind wander. The ideas that arrive unannounced are often the most valuable. Feel your body sinking a little deeper now. The muscles in your face, your forehead, your jaw, the tiny muscles around your eyes, let them release. You don't need to hold any expression right now. Your face can simply rest. Here's something that might comfort you. Business success follows the same compound growth pattern as investments. A 1% improvement every day leads to being 37 times better after a year. Not 37% better, 37 times better. Conversely, getting 1% worse every day through neglecting sleep, health, or learning leaves you with just 3% of your original capacity after a year. The small choices compound. Tonight's rest is one of those small choices, working in your favor. Research from the University of Warwick found that happy employees are 12% more productive than average, while unhappy employees are 10% less productive. Taking care of yourself, resting well, managing stress, finding moments of calm, isn't self-indulgent. It directly improves your business performance. Your breath is finding its own rhythm now. You don't need to control it. Just notice it, like watching gentle waves from a distance. In and out. In and out.
As you drift closer to sleep, here are a few final thoughts that might visit you tomorrow when you need them. The most successful entrepreneurs often credit their success to asking better questions. Instead of, how do I make money from this? Try, what problem would people pay to have solved? Instead of, why isn't this working? Try, what would need to be true for this to work? Instead of, why did this customer leave? Try, what did they need that we didn't provide? Questions direct attention. Better questions lead to better insights. Research shows that writing things down, physically, with pen and paper, improves memory and understanding significantly more than typing. The motor action of handwriting engages different brain regions than typing and creates stronger memory traces. Tomorrow, for your most important thinking, you might try a notebook instead of a screen. And here's something from negotiation research. The most successful negotiators spend far more time preparing than average negotiators. They anticipate the other party's needs, interests, and constraints. They think through multiple scenarios. They clarify their own priorities and limits before entering the room. Preparation, it turns out, is often more valuable than cleverness in the moment. Your body is deeply relaxed now, deeply heavy, deeply at peace. The Zeigarnik effect describes how incomplete tasks occupy more mental space than completed ones. Your brain keeps circling back to unfinished business, trying to hold on to it. But research shows that simply writing down your tasks, getting them out of your head and onto paper, releases this mental grip. If thoughts of tomorrow's work arise, imagine writing them down. Let your mind release them, knowing they'll be there when you wake. Implementation intentions dramatically increase follow-through on goals. The format is simple. If X happens, I will do Y. If I feel stuck tomorrow, I will take a 10-minute walk. If I feel overwhelmed, I will focus on just one task. If I feel stressed, I will take 5 slow breaths. These pre-made decisions remove friction when you need them most. Everything that happened today, you can set it down now. The emails you didn't quite finish, they'll wait. The decisions you're not sure about, they don't need answers tonight. The problem that seemed unsolvable, your sleeping brain might work on it while you rest. Research has documented countless cases of breakthroughs arriving in dreams or upon waking. The structure of benzene came to chemist August Kekulé in a dream of a snake biting its own tail. Google's Larry Page dreamed the basic concept for the page ranking algorithm that made the company possible. Paul McCartney heard the melody for Yesterday in a dream, one of the most covered songs in history. Your subconscious is more powerful than you know, and it does its best work while you sleep. So let it work, let go of the day, let go of tomorrow's worries. You've gathered so many insights tonight about walking and creativity, about decision fatigue and willpower, about stress and recovery, about focus and preparation. They'll still be there tomorrow. They'll weave into how you work, how you think, how you build. For now, there is nothing more required of you. You chose a hard path, not because you had to, but because something in you wanted to create, to build, to bring something new into the world. Tomorrow you'll continue, rested, restored, ready. But not yet. Now is for rest. Now is for sleep. Now is for this breath, and this breath, and this breath. Your body carries your business as much as your mind does. Let's give it some attention while exploring what research tells us about peak performance. Bring your awareness to your feet. They've carried you through countless steps today. Feel them resting now, the arches, the heels, the toes. Let any remaining tension there simply dissolve. A study from the British Journal of Sports Medicine found that even brief physical activity, as little as 11 minutes of brisk walking per day, reduces the risk of early death by 23% and improves cognitive function measurably. Your body wants to move. Tomorrow, perhaps just a short walk. It doesn't need to be a workout, just movement. Now your calves and shins, solid and reliable, let them grow heavy and warm. Researchers at Stanford found that exercise increases the size of the hippocampus, the brain region responsible for learning and memory. Entrepreneurs who exercise regularly literally have bigger, more capable learning centers in their brains. Your thighs and hips, the largest muscles in your body, now completely at rest. Nothing to support, nowhere to walk, nothing to do. Your belly rises and falls with each breath. This is where we often hold anxiety, that tight nervous energy of uncertainty. Imagine it loosening with each exhale. Interestingly, research from the HeartMath Institute shows that slow, rhythmic breathing, about 6 breaths per minute, synchronizes your heart rate with your brain waves, creating a state they call coherence. In this state, people perform better on tests of memory, creativity, and emotional regulation. Simply breathing slowly and steadily changes your neurochemistry for the better. You're doing that right now. Your chest and heart, so much courage lives here. Your heart beats about 100,000 times per day, pumping blood to every cell in your body without any conscious effort from you. Let it rest now. Your heart knows how to beat without your supervision. Your brain weighs only about 3 pounds, less than 2% of your body weight, yet it uses about 20% of your energy. It works so hard for you. Let it rest now. Feel your jaw release, your tongue resting softly in your mouth, your eyes still and peaceful behind closed lids. Here's something fascinating about creativity. Researchers have identified 2 distinct modes of thinking: focused mode, when you're concentrating intently on a problem, and diffuse mode, when your mind wanders freely. Breakthroughs almost always happen in diffuse mode, when you're not trying. This is why Salvador Dali used to nap holding a key over a metal plate. When he fell asleep and dropped the key, the clatter would wake him, and he'd capture the strange ideas from the edge of consciousness. Thomas Edison did something similar with steel balls. The state you're drifting into now, called the hypnagogic state, is particularly rich with creative potential. A study in the journal Thinking and Reasoning found that people who let their minds wander after working on a problem came up with 40% more solutions than those who kept focusing. And research from the University of California showed that periods of boredom, having nothing to do, actually prime the brain for creative thinking. In our always connected world, we rarely let ourselves be bored, but boredom, it turns out, is where creativity gets ready to emerge. Tomorrow, consider scheduling some empty time with no inputs, no tasks, no stimulation, just space. Your best ideas might be waiting in that emptiness. Let your mind wander freely now. If thoughts about work arise, you don't need to push them away. Just let them float past like clouds. Here's something every entrepreneur should know. Decision fatigue is real. Research shows that the quality of your decisions declines throughout the day as you make more of them. A study of judges found they were significantly more likely to grant parole early in the morning or right after lunch when their mental energy was refreshed. This is why many successful entrepreneurs wear the same thing every day. Steve Jobs had his black turtleneck, Mark Zuckerberg has his gray t-shirts, Barack Obama wore only gray or blue suits. Every small decision you eliminate, what to wear, what to eat for breakfast, which route to take, preserves energy for the decisions that matter. A study published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences found that willpower is a finite resource that depletes throughout the day. This is why the morning is often best for your most important work, not just because you're well rested, but because your willpower tank is full. And it's why sleep is so crucial. Willpower fully restores overnight. The self-control you need to make good decisions, resist distractions, and stay focused, it all comes back while you sleep. Tomorrow, consider doing your most challenging work first, before the hundreds of small decisions start depleting your reserves. And perhaps prepare what you can the night before. Decisions made in advance don't cost tomorrow's energy. Business ultimately runs on relationships. Customers, partners, employees, investors, it's all about how well we connect with other humans. Research from UCLA found that sleep deprivation significantly impairs your ability to read facial expressions and emotional cues. When you're tired, you're literally worse at understanding people. This affects negotiations, sales calls, team management, every interaction where reading the room matters. Here's something useful. Studies show that people are most persuasive when they speak at a moderate pace, about 150 words per minute, and when they vary their tone naturally. Speaking too quickly signals nervousness. Speaking too slowly can seem condescending. A comfortable, varied pace builds trust. And mirroring, subtly matching the body language and speech patterns of the person you're talking to, has been shown to increase lookability and agreement by up to 65%. These aren't manipulations. They're the natural behaviors of good communicators. Tomorrow, you might simply notice these patterns in your conversations. Research also shows that people remember how you made them feel far longer than they remember what you said. The customer might forget your pitch, but they'll remember whether they felt heard, respected, and valued. Tomorrow, in every interaction, you might simply ask, "How do I want this person to feel when we're done talking?" Let your body feel heavy now, beautifully, peacefully heavy, like you're sinking slowly into warm sand perfectly molded to your shape. Nothing to resist, nothing to hold, just sinking, softening, resting. Your mind is growing quieter now, thoughts becoming softer, less insistent. Let me share a few more insights that might weave into your dreams and emerge as wisdom tomorrow. Psychologist Carol Dweck's research on mindset has transformed how we understand achievement. People with a growth mindset, who believe abilities can be developed through effort, consistently outperform those with a fixed mindset who believe talent is innate. The good news, mindset can be changed simply by how you talk to yourself. Instead of "I'm not good at this," you might try "I'm not good at this yet." That single word "yet" opens a door to improvement. Research from Harvard Business School found that people who frame failures as learning opportunities show higher persistence and eventually achieve greater success than those who see failure as a verdict on their abilities. Every setback contains information. Every mistake teaches something. This isn't just positive thinking, it's statistically predictive of better outcomes. Here's a finding that might surprise you. Visualizing success can actually decrease performance. When people imagine achieving their goals too vividly, their brains sometimes register the reward as already received, reducing motivation. But visualizing the process, imagining yourself doing the work step by step, increases performance significantly. Tomorrow, when you think about your goals, try picturing the actions rather than just the outcomes. Your brain will be better prepared to actually do them. Your breathing has become so natural now, so effortless, just happening without any need for your attention. Here's something about time that might change how you work. Research shows that humans naturally work in cycles of roughly 90 minutes, followed by a period of lower energy. These are called ultradian rhythms. Fighting them, pushing through when your body wants rest, leads to diminishing returns. Tomorrow, you might try working in 90-minute blocks, then taking genuine breaks. Not scrolling on your phone, which doesn't restore mental energy, but actual rest. Walking, stretching, looking at the sky. Speaking of phones, studies show it takes an average of 23 minutes to fully regain focus after being interrupted. If you check your phone just 6 times during a work session, you might never achieve true deep focus at all. The most productive entrepreneurs guard their attention fiercely. They know that focus is the multiplier that makes every hour more valuable. A study from the University of California found that people who batch their email, checking it only 2 or 3 times per day rather than continuously, report significantly lower stress and higher productivity. The world very rarely needs an immediate response. The urgency we feel is often manufactured by technology designed to capture our attention, not to serve our interests. Tomorrow, you might try putting your phone in another room during your most important work, or turning off notifications entirely. Your attention is your most valuable asset. Guard it accordingly. There's emerging research that challenges how we think about stress. Psychologist Kelly McGonigal found that people who view stress as harmful have significantly worse health outcomes than those who view stress as their body preparing to meet a challenge. The stress response, elevated heart rate, faster breathing, heightened alertness, is actually your body shifting into a high-performance mode. It's the same response as excitement. The interpretation makes the difference. Tomorrow, when you feel stressed, you might try saying to yourself, "My body is preparing me to perform." Research suggests this simple reframing can change your physiological response and improve your outcomes. However, chronic stress that never releases, is genuinely harmful. This is why recovery is so important. Studies show that the most resilient performers aren't those who experience less stress, but those who recover more completely. Full engagement followed by full recovery, like an athlete who trains intensely and then rests completely. This rest you're taking now is the recovery half of that equation. Without it, engagement eventually burns out. Research from the American Psychological Association shows that spending time in nature, even just looking at pictures of natural scenes, reduces cortisol levels and improves cognitive function. Tomorrow, if you can, spend a few minutes outside, or find a window with a view of trees or sky or water. Your nervous system will thank you. Your thoughts may be dissolving now into images and impressions rather than words, colors, shapes, fragments of faces and places. Let them come and go. You don't need to hold on to anything. Your mind knows what to do with all of it.